Post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, is a condition that has affected individuals throughout history. Although our understanding and recognition of it have evolved significantly over time, this chronological exploration of PTSD highlights significant periods, key figures, and the development of our understanding of this pervasive mental health condition. In the 21st century, conflicts in Iraq and Afghanistan have continued to shape our understanding of PTSD. Modern warfare, with its unique challenges such as urban combat and extended deployments, has resulted in a significant number of soldiers experiencing PTSD. Advances in medical and psychological research have led to improved diagnostic tools and treatment methods, including cognitive behavioral therapy, eye movement desensitization, reprocessing, and pharmacotherapy. The Vietnam War, 1955 to 1975, profoundly influenced the modern understanding of PTSD. Veterans returning from Vietnam exhibited symptoms that were initially termed post-Vietnam syndrome, characterized by flashbacks, severe anxiety, emotional numbness, and difficulties in social and occupational functioning. The intensity and visibility of these symptoms among Vietnam veterans highlighted the inadequacy of existing mental health support for soldiers. The war's brutal and guerrilla nature, along with the widespread media coverage, brought the psychological impacts of combat into the public eye more starkly than ever before. The advocacy of veterans and mental health professionals led to the formal recognition of PTSD in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders in 1980. This marked a significant milestone, as PTSD was acknowledged as a distinct mental health condition, paving the way for more specialized therapeutic interventions and support systems. World War I introduced the term shell shock to describe the psychological trauma suffered by soldiers exposed to the intense and unprecedented conditions of trench warfare. Symptoms included tremors, nightmares, and an inability to function. Initially believed to result from physical damage due to explosions, it soon became apparent that the condition had psychological roots. Despite this understanding, treatment was often harsh and unsympathetic, with many soldiers stigmatized or even punished. World War II saw the use of terms like combat fatigue or battle fatigue to describe similar symptoms. Psychological trauma was more systematically acknowledged, and efforts were made to provide treatment, though stigma and limited understanding often hampered these efforts. Techniques such as talking therapy and rest were employed, marking the beginnings of modern psychological treatment for war-induced trauma. The recognition of the psychological impact of war on soldiers during these periods laid the groundwork for the contemporary understanding of PTSD. During the American Civil War, symptoms akin to PTSD were referred to as soldier's heart or irritable heart. Soldiers exhibited signs of severe stress, anxiety, and what we now recognize as panic attacks. While the medical community of the time did not fully understand these symptoms, the term nostalgia was often used to describe a longing for home and the subsequent emotional disturbances seen in soldiers. The Civil War represents an early acknowledgement of the psychological toll of combat, even though treatments and understanding were rudimentary by today's standards. Jean Froissart, a chronicler of the Hundred Years' War, which lasted from 1337 to 1453, documented the brutal realities of medieval warfare. His writings include accounts of soldiers experiencing severe emotional distress and behavioral changes after battle. These descriptions, while not medically framed, suggest an awareness of the long-term psychological impact of war. Froissart's chronicles provide valuable insights into how trauma was perceived and experienced in medieval times, highlighting the enduring nature of psychological responses to combat. One of the earliest recorded instances of PTSD-like symptoms comes from the Battle of Marathon in 490 BCE. Epizelus, the son of Kuphagoras, was a Greek soldier who reportedly went blind during combat without any physical injury. According to accounts, his blindness was triggered by the overwhelming stress and terror of battle, an early indication of what we now understand as a psychological response to trauma. He recounted seeing a gigantic warrior with a massive beard that cast a shadow over his entire shield. This ghostly figure stood before him, but passed him by and killed the man next to him. This case exemplifies how ancient cultures observed and recorded the effects of extreme stress, even if they did not fully understand or have the means to treat it. In ancient Greece, there are numerous references to trauma in literature and historical texts. The works of Homer, particularly the Iliad and the Odyssey, contain passages describing warriors experiencing grief, rage, and depression after battle. Achilles, for example, displays intense grief and rage following the death of his friend Patroclus, which can be interpreted as a form of traumatic stress response. Greek historians like Herodotus also wrote about the psychological effects of war on soldiers. Thucydides, in his account of the Peloponnesian War, described how prolonged exposure to warfare led to severe psychological distress among combatants. While there was no formal diagnosis or treatment, these accounts highlight an early recognition of war's emotional and mental toll. The Roman Empire, with its extensive military campaigns, also provides early examples of PTSD-like symptoms. Roman soldiers, especially those involved in brutal and prolonged conflicts, exhibited signs of psychological distress. Historical records and literature, such as the works of the poet Virgil, often depict the emotional and psychological struggles of warriors. The impact of colonization on indigenous populations offers another dimension to the understanding of PTSD. The trauma experienced by these communities due to forced relocation, cultural destruction, and violence has led to what is sometimes referred to as historical trauma. This concept recognizes the long-term and intergenerational effects of trauma on communities, expanding the understanding of PTSD beyond individual experiences to encompass collective and societal impacts. In addition to individual trauma, entire communities and societies have experienced collective PTSD due to events such as natural disasters, genocides, for example, the Holocaust, Rwandan genocide, and other large-scale traumatic events. These instances of collective trauma highlight the broader implications of PTSD and the need for comprehensive approaches to mental health care that address both individual and community needs. The recognition and understanding of PTSD have evolved significantly over time. From ancient battles to modern warfare, individuals have long experienced the psychological aftermath of traumatic events. Each period in history has contributed to the growing awareness and knowledge of PTSD, leading to better diagnosis, treatment, and support for those affected by this condition. As we continue to learn from history, it is crucial to acknowledge and address the enduring impact of trauma on individuals and societies. Through historical reflection, we gain valuable insights that inform contemporary practices and foster a more compassionate and effective approach to mental health care.